Welcome to another video on Remedial Math for All. Today's video we're gonna learn how to simplify fractions. Now, if we take 4 over 8 as an example, 4 is an even number and 8 is also an even number. Even number means these two numbers are divisible by 2. So meaning that you can break the numerator and the denominator down to get 2 as a common number. So what number you can multiply by 2 to get 4 is 2. And what number you can multiply by 2 to get 8 is 4. So what you're going to do is whenever you see a number that appears at the numerator and at the denominator, you can cancel out the number. So these two numbers canceled out. So now you only have the 2 over 4 left. And because this number is even and the 4 is even, you can also break that down in 2. So what number you multiply by 2 to get 2 is 1. And what number you multiply by 2 to get 4 is 2. So because 2 and 2 appears at the denominator and at the numerator and the denominator, you can cancel those 2 out. Now what you're left with 1 over 2. So that's the simplest form, meaning that it cannot be simplified further. Now look at 3 and 15. 3 and 15 is not divisible by 2, so you cannot break this 2 number down to get 3. But you should know that 3 is divisible by 15, meaning that you can break 15 down to get a 3. And let's start with the 15. So what number you multiply by 3 to get 15? It's 5. And also you have to make sure you divide the number by the same. So break 3 down. What number you multiply by 3 to get 3? Is 1. But now you have a common number between the numerator and the denominator. So 3 and 3 can be cancelled. So what you're left with is 1 over 5. So the simplest form, meaning that it cannot be simplified further. So that's 1/5. Okay. Now let's look at 18 and 30. 18 and 30. So these two numbers, 8 is even and 0 is also considered an even number. So you can break this two number down to get a 2 as the common number. So what number you multiply by 2 to get 18? It's 9 over, break this down, what number you multiply by 2 to get 30 is 15. 2 times 15 is 30. So now you can cancel out the 2 because it appears at the denominator and the numerator. So you cancel it out. Now you're left with 9 over 15. Now ask yourself, is there a common number between, can you break 9 and 15 down to have a common number? So you know 9 is divisible by 3 and you know 15 is divisible by 3. What number you multiply by 3 to get 9? Another 3. 3 times 3 is 9. What number you multiply by 3 to get 15? That's 5. So the 3, you have a common 3 between the numerator and the denominator. Those can be cancelled out. So what you're left with? 3 over 5. And the 3 over 5 cannot be simplified further. So that's your simplest form. Now let's look at 30 over 40. So although these two numbers are divisible by 2, but because both of them ends with a 0, this number is also divisible by 10. So you can break this down into 10 and 10. What number you multiply by 10 to get 30? 3. What number you multiply by 10 to get 40? 4. And the 10 is common between the numerator and the denominator. You can cancel that out. So what you're left with? 3 over 4. And this 3 over 4 is the simplest form because there is not a number aside from 1 that can be that is divisible by 3 and 4. So this is your simplest form. Now let's say you simplify 15 over 45. Another rule that I want you to know is when you have the number in the numerator ends with a 5 and the denominator ends with a 5, this number is divisible by 5, meaning that you can break these two numbers to get a 5. So let's go ahead and do that. What number you multiply by 5 to get 15? 3. What number you multiply by 5 to get 45? 9. So the 5 is common between both the top and the bottom. Cancel. So now you're left with 3 over 9. But now look at 3 over 9. These two numbers can be broken down. So you can break 9 down to get a 3. And what number you have to multiply by 3 to get 9? 3. So what number you multiply by 3 to get 3 is 1. So there's a 3 that is common, and this is cancel. So your answer is 1/3. That's the simplest form. Because both numbers are even numbers, so they're divisible by 2. Let's go ahead and start with 2. What number you multiply by 2 to get 6 is 3. What number you multiply by 2 to get 18 is 9. So the 2 is common. Cancel that. You're left with 3 over 9. So because these two numbers, this can be broken down further, you can break 9 down to get a 3. So 3 is common here. 3 times 3 is by 9. What number you multiply by 3 to get 3 is 1. So once you cancel the two number that appears at the denominator and the numerator, you're left with 1/3. So that's your final answer. Now go ahead and try to simplify 40 over 100. Because 0 appears at the top and 0 appears at the bottom, but there's only 1 0 at the top and there's 1 0 at the bottom. So this one is divisible by 10. You can also just cancel 1 0 at the top and 1 0 at the bottom. You're left with 4 over 10. Or you can just break it down, 10 and 10. What number you multiply by 10 to get 40 is 4. What number you multiply by 10 to get 100 is 10. So because 10 is common between the numerator and the denominator, cancel that. So you're left with 4 over 10. This is an even number and this is also even number. So this can be, these two numbers are divisible by 2. So you break them down. 2 times 2 gives you 4. 2 times 5 gives you 10. So these two cancel and you're left with 2 over 5. Now let's say we have an improper fraction. Improper fraction is when the top number is larger than the bottom number. So let's say we have 15 over 12. The only difference is you're going to reduce this. The final answer, you're going to write it as a mixed number. So first, let's follow the same procedure. Let's break this 2 down. This is 15 and 2 and 12. So you can break this down where the 3 is going to be common between these two, because you can multiply 3 by 5 to get 15. You can multiply 3 by 4 to get 12. So now you cancel out the 3 because it appears at the top and the bottom. You're left with 5 over. So that's your improper fraction. So that's the simplest form. But because the top number is larger than the bottom number, you need to write it as a mixed number. Mixed number, you're going to do the division. 5 goes inside, 4 goes outside. How many times 4 can go into 5? Once. And 1 times 4 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1, so that's your remainder. Your remainder goes on the top, and your denominator, which is 4, goes at the bottom, and your quotient, which is this number, goes in the front. So this is the 3 number that you use. The 4 is the denominator or divisor, 1 is the remainder, and this 1 is the quotient. So that's your simplest form. Now let's say we have 100 over 60 and we ask to simplify. So as you can see, there's there's 2 zeros at the top and there's 1 0 at the bottom. So you can only cancel 1 because there's only 1 0 at the bottom. So do that. Now you're left with 10 over 6. So 10 and 6 is 10 and 6 are even numbers, so you can break them down to get a 2. So 2 and 2 is common. What number you multiply by 2 to get 10? 5. What number you multiply by 2 to get 6? 3. So now because the 2 is the common number, you cancel that, so you have 5 over 6 left. 5 over 3, sorry. So because the top number, which is 5, is larger than 3, you need to write that as a mixed number. So 5 goes inside, 3 goes outside. How many times 3 can go into 5? Once. 1 times 3 is what? 3. Subtract. The remainder is 2. Now, this is the number that you're going to use to write. These are the numbers that you're going to use to write the mixed number. So this number, divisor, go at the bottom. The remainder goes at the top, and the quotient goes in the front. So this is 1 2/3. Now let's say we have 27 over 6. We ask to simplify. 27 is larger than 6, so this is an improper fraction. So 27 is an odd number, 6 is an even number, so they're not divisible by 2. So we're going to try to figure something out and see how we can simplify them. So you can break 27 down to get a 3, and you can break 6 down to get a 3. So go ahead, 3 is common. What number you multiply by 3 to get 27? It's 9. What number you multiply by 6 to get by 3 to get 6 is 2. So because the 3 appears at the top and the bottom, so you can cancel that, you're left with 9 over 2. So this is a mixed number. This is an improper fraction. You need to write it as a mixed number. So the 9 goes inside and 2 goes outside. Now ask yourself, how many times 2 can go into 9? It's 4. So once you do 2 times 4 is 8. So you subtract that. 9 minus 8 is 1. So remember, you're going to use those 3 numbers equal. So the divisor is always the numerator is always the bottom number. The 1, which is the remainder, is the top number. And this number, the quotient, is the number that goes in the front. So this is 4 and 1, 9. So if you were to do 2 times 9 is what? 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So it will be 9 over 2. Thank you for watching another video on Remedial Math for All. Go ahead and subscribe, like if you haven't done so, and don't forget to hit the bell for notification when I post another video.